You know what I mean? Listen, welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. Tonight we have a mouth-watering heavyweight clash that is going down on Friday night, 6th of June in Manchester on the original SCB platform, Outcasts, which is sponsored by the one and only Gunman Boxing. Down to my right, we have Anton Bell, the southpaw punching sensation, the highly rated SCB killer, and he is going down to fight Mason Brown, the powerhouse, the rising small content creator contender. This is a matchup that everyone is looking forward to. I'm going to start with you, Mason Brown. Who is favourite in this fight?
I mean, a lot of people are saying Anton, but no one's really seen me fight. They don't really know what I can do in the ring. I'm very, got a lot of styles that I can implement in my game. I can go southpaw, orthodox, switch stances, got great footwork for a heavyweight. I move like a middleweight. I'm 98 kilos and I punch like a super heavyweight, you know?
Do you rate Anton?
I haven't seen much of his. I know he can scrap. I haven't seen much of his boxing ability from what I've seen. I've just seen him, his ability to have a chin and have a scrap.
Would you label him just a brawler then?
I mean, from what I've seen, and if Anton would agree, he brawls in the ring. He's quite wild, and that type of fighting, I can quite easily. What's the word?
Deal with,
yeah.
Yeah, I am a brawler, but everyone I've fought has put that on me to make me brawl. So depends how you come at me. It's one of them.
I can box. We can brawl. It doesn't matter. We can do anything in the ring.
Yeah, I'm going to come on to Anton. Anton, you are smelling of roses right now. A huge victory. You've gone out to Baltimore, bashed up next man. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Won in convincing fashion. A lot of people felt that you've come out as an absolute hero on Breakout, where you broke people up. How was the experience?
I've got to say, the best experience of my life, to be fair, just going to America and then to win as an English lad on his own soil. It felt amazing, to be fair. I feel like the amount of work I put in for it paid off in the end.
Yeah, listen, how did... is this a harder fight than Eze?
I think I underestimated Eze, to be fair. I said initially that Mason would be a harder fight, but Eze did bring it on me. The whole 4 rounds he was going at me, but I do think Mason will be... I don't know whether it'll be a harder fight, we'll have to wait and see, but I know it's going to be a hard fight. A lot of people in the SCB scene, they haven't seen a lot of Mason. They only saw the 1 round against Lewis. So naturally, they're all going to predict me to win with my record and that. But I do think it'll be a lot closer than a lot of people are saying. I know it'll be a tough fight, but I'm just preparing for it. So,
yeah. Listen, how would you describe Mason's style from what you've seen?
From what I've seen, like probably what he said to me, I'd say he's a brawler, he's a scrapper. But I've seen a clip of him in one fight. I know he's got decent head movement as well. So the technique's probably there. We're just going to have to see for the fight, see how it works out. Usually if it's 2 scrappers going against each other, it's going to make a great fight, innit? But I don't know. Yeah, like you said, he's probably got different styles. We'll have to see. It's going to have to put it on him and see what comes out of it.
Listen, I think it's safe to say that both of you two brothers can bang. Who's a puncher in this fight, Mason Brown?
I would say I am.
So you believe that you can pack Anton Bell up, pack him up into a suitcase and send him back down to the Midlands?
Yes, 100%. I've knocked out majority of my sparring partners in the past.
Yeah, you can certainly bang. Like I've watched you just hitting the bag on your page, and the poor bag. Anyone would have thought that the bag had said something bad to your mother, because you was absolutely smashing this bag in. you certainly got some weight behind in your hands, man. Man's got hands of stone. You know what I mean? Man's got hands of stone. Anton, you're fighting a guy who's smaller technically than your last opponent in terms of weight, I believe. Do you think that's going to be a bit more of an advantage that you've actually got a guy a little bit more your size and he's not about to lean on you and maul you like Ezza did?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in training, a lot of my sparring partners are more Mason sized than as opposed to Ezza. So I think with the experience I've got in sparring and training, I think that this will be a better match for me personally. Yeah, it'll be a great fight. I think I'll be able to. He said he thinks he can pack a punch and knock me out. I think I can do the same thing to him. I've got the power as well. I know seeing him on the heavy bag, he's got the power, but I've proved it in the ring as well. So
yeah, listen, it's definitely a fight. It's definitely not a fight not to blink. Otherwise, you'll commit some serious fireworks. What did Mason? Can I just ask you what does Anton do well?
I think he's got a good chin. I think his chin's reliable. I haven't really seen him be wobbled, but no one's ever seen me wobbled in my whole life. I've got a granite chin. I was born in Manchester. I'm a northerner.
Yeah.
Brummies have the best chins, mate.
so you think his punch resistance is his best asset?
Yes, until he comes against me.
Listen, what were you impressed with his performance out in the States? For a young English kid to fly across to Baltimore, there was obviously a lot of tension, a lot of nerves. He got in there, he fought, he got the W. What did you make of his performance, Mason?
He got the W at the end of the day. That's all that matters. I've watched the clips like twice. I haven't really looked too much into the fight, but from what I saw, he showed heart and showed determination, and that's all that really matters in a fight.
How are you ranking his performance out of 10?
Boxing ability would be low, but fighting ability would be like a 6-7.
Yeah. Anton, this
I ain't going to complain about it. Listen, my coach has always said I'm not a boxer, I'm a fighter, so it is what it is. But like you say, against Ezra, he was just coming at me. I think once I've got the right fight, I can actually prove that I've got boxing ability.
Is it not a bit disrespectful what he's saying? He's basically saying he's rating that heroic performance. Some people see it as you flow back to the UK, off one of your best wins, and he's rating it a 6-7. Is that disrespectful?
I'm not too sure. I mean, like I said, my own coach has said that, so I can take shit like that. But I guess it's one of them. I can just prove it wrong on Outcasts. So
a 10 would be like Usyk against Fury. That would be a 10 to me. That's a 10 win for an amateur person. A 6-7 is pretty good. It's not disrespect. I'm just looking at for the whole spectrum of boxing. Like for someone who's new to boxing, he's done pretty well and he's got good fighting ability. It's not disrespect. It's just I'm blunt with it. If I think they've done all right, I'll say they've done all right. If they've done excellent, I'll tell them they've done excellent. I'm real.
Mason, what does Anton not do well?
I feel like he does keep his chin up in the air quite a lot. His head movement is not always on point, and I can easily exploit that with my overright hands and my quick agility.
Yeah, understood. What do you say to that? He's saying, Anton, this brother is saying that your chin is up in the air like a Boeing 747 just landing in on Gatwick Airport. You know what I mean? One of them ones. What do you say to that, my brother?
Sometimes when I'm going into battle, it's like I will just go for it, and like I can agree my chin is up sometimes, but sometimes that might just be me being big-headed and thinking, all right, I'm not going to get hit with a big shot, and if I do, my chin can take it. But now I have been trying to work on that, tucking my chin in, keeping my guard up, using my head movement. But yeah, I think I can prove. I've just been, since this as a fight, I've just been training and training. I know I've only had like 2 weeks since that one, but back in my fights before that, it was just a matter of going once or twice a week. I was slacking, but now it's like consistency, 3 times a week. Even if I'm not fighting, I'll be going 3 or 4 times a week, so I'm always ready if a fight opportunity comes up.
Is there any animosity between you two? Is there any, like, has there been any beef in socials? Is this just all pure love and we're just getting in ruck and then have a pint afterwards?
Yeah, not really. I mean, like, Outcasts, a lot of it's on Twitter, really, and a lot of the beef does probably come out of Twitter, and Mason doesn't even have a Twitter account, so even if we wanted to...
I do have a Twitter account, but my Twitter account...
See, that's the thing, we didn't even know you had a Twitter account, so it's... That's fair enough. It's that, like, you know what I mean? He's not very... He doesn't show himself on Twitter in that scene, if you know what I mean, and that's where a lot of the beef comes. But, like, so I've got respect for him. Like, we have no reason to be beefing each other. We haven't chatted shit to each other in the past or anything, but...
I just want my rematch. I just want my rematch after my injury with my shoulder being popped out against Lewis. I just want my rematch. That's what it's getting that win back.
Yeah, listen, you guys, what the winner of this fight will take on Lewis Small, for those that don't know, who was off the back of a devastating KO in his last fight, an absolutely devastating KO. Anton, what did you make of that knockout, and how do you think you'll fare against the big man?
I mean, I was there to see it in real life. At first, I didn't see the shot because the side of the ring I was on. I thought, no way, that's a knockout. And then he dropped like a sack of potatoes. So he does pack a lot of power, but at the same time, he's a big lad. He's slow. I know I'm not the quickest, but I think that I have a lot of advantages on Lewis. And if I go through Mason, I feel like that Lewis can be a win as well for that title.
And do you think then your plan is, October, Anton belt and the new Outcast #1 heavyweight?
Yes, the SCB #1 heavyweight. I'm going to beat Lewis. I'm going to hopefully, if DDK over the American side, if he gets the balls, he can fight me, and then we can do it over in America again. That's what I want. I want to win all the titles. CSL with TC. Hopefully, I'm going to get a title opportunity against him soon.
Yeah.
Whether that be August, September.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep proving myself.
Yeah, no, that'd be fantastic. Mason, what do you think of Lewis Small?
I mean, I fought him. I didn't really see much power when we fought.
Well, I'm bringing this brother in now.
Oh, is it?
Hi, Lewis.
No what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this brother in now.
I got injured.
And so that way you don't need to just tell me what you think of him. You can talk to him and tell him what you think of him.
I didn't feel Lewis's power when we fought. I'm going to be real. I didn't feel it. And the reason why the fight ended is because my shoulder popped out. And Lewis knows that. We all know that. And, yeah.
Hey, listen, welcome Lewis Small, the heavyweight Outcast champion, off the back of one of the knockouts of the year in the small content creator scene. This is the main man. This is the Don Dada. This is the Tony Montana of this SCB Outcast scene. This is the big smoking halibut. This is the champ, Lewis Small. Lewis, what do you make of this fight? One of these two brothers wants to take you on for your belt. Do you rate either of them, and who do you think will win?
I've not won the belt yet. It's a completely vacant title. I've only just done what I can, and obviously, if I do fight in October, out of these two will be the undisputed champion of Outcast, which I'm looking forward to. I'll be there on Friday.
Yeah, sorry, I should say that the belt is vacant, but you're the #1. You're in the pole position, we should say. I think that's fair to say. You're in the pole position because of your last victory. Zabi's kind of out the picture a little bit. And so you're kind of #1, I should say. Sorry, when we stand corrected. But the winner of this fight has to take you on. Yeah, and who do you think will win?
Do you know what? I've been weighing it up over past few weeks, and it is mad how the amount of people who don't know about what Mason can do, obviously just back Anton because obviously they see Anton more on Twitter and stuff. One of the only people who can give a proper opinion on how Mason fights is myself, because obviously I've followed him for how short it was. I'm one of the only people in the scene who knows how he fights and how he punches. Mason's a hard hitter. Mason hits very hard, and he's, in my opinion, got the best footwork out of any heavyweight in the scene. So it'll be hard for Anton to land on him, but Anton's been active. Anton's improved every fight. I watched his fight with Ezra. I tuned in between training and watching him fight. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's hard to call, but it's going to be, if Anton can stop Mason coming inside, pause, then it'll be Anton's fight. But if Anton can keep him at range, then it'll suit Anton. But if Mason can get up close, work the body, and throw a few of his hooks, then it'll be Mason's fight. But it's probably got one of the best heavyweight fights lined up in the scene, in my opinion.
So listen, get off the fence then. Who wins? Who wins?
It's hard, you know. It's either going to be Mason stoppage, either Mason will win by stoppage, or Anton will take in the distance, win on points. I can't call it. It's one of the only fights in the scene that I can't call. You ask me the rest of the card, and I'll give you my opinion. This is the one card. Whether it's because obviously I might fight the winner, then I don't know. It's hard, man. But yeah, either Mason will stop him, or Anton will take in distance.
Who would you like to fight in October?
Either or, to be honest. Like I get Mason wanting his rematch. Obviously, the way the last one ended, it was a good fight up until the way it is. Like, he caught me with quite a few shots. I've improved since then. I probably went into that fight a little bit unprepared. I had a good camp, but it was a new camp. It was when I first went to the Matthew Hatton gym, so I was just getting up to scratch with things. And Mason was easily the hardest opponent I'd fought out of my previous fights. So it was a big jump. It ended the way it ended. It wasn't a win that I really wanted to celebrate. I didn't give any shit to Mason. I bought him a drink after. We had a bev in Birmingham afterwards. It was good, and I get him wanting the rematch. So it'd be a good fight if we do it again. Ask anyone in this scene. Me and Anton have probably been paired up against each other so many times. We've been supposed to fight on events that haven't happened, or there's been talks about me and Anton fighting. But again, it'd be someone I'd love to share the ring with. So either or for me.
Do you mind who wins? Do you have a preference?
Nah. Whoever wins deserves it. At the end of the day, if Ray had beat me back in November, then he did deserve to fight for the title. I did my business, obviously fighting Ray and getting the knockout in devastating fashion, and now obviously these two will fight each other, and then it's just who fights the best. You know, in this scene, there's far too much forced to make things entertaining. If people are good fighters and just want to be the best, then that makes the entertainment. This is literally just a fight to see who's the best in the division.
Yeah, listen, it's a really good trilogy. You're going to three superb fighters, and it's going to be really entertaining to see who is the last man standing. Anton Bell, you're looking to wipe out both these men. You know, you're sponsored by me, but really, after your last performance, you should be sponsored by Fairy Liquid, because you've been cleaning up on the scene. Who's the hardest fight? Who's the harder fight for you, Anton Bell, out of these two brothers? Who's the better fighter?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with Lewis's approach here. It's really hard to decide that, because Lewis and Mason had that fight, and I've got to say Mason did look good against Lewis, but at the same time, I know that Lewis packs a punch. He knocked out He knocked out his last opponent. So yeah. So honestly, I don't know. They've got completely different attributes. Like I said, Mason packs power. He's a smaller opponent, got good footwork. Lewis, he can put the pressure on. He's got great power as well. So I can't decide that. I think, both of them will be hard fights.
Like paint protector.
I know, both of them will be hard fights, but I've got to go through both to get to the top. If me and Lewis fight, it'll be a sake of, if I beat Mason, it'll be a sake of 5-0 versus 4-0. So someone's will have to go in that fight, which gives it even more. So not only the title is on the line.
Who do you think would have won that fight before Mason picked up the injury?
Going off the first round, I'd have said Mason would have won it, but like I say, when it's how many rounds was that fight? 3 rounds, was it?
I think it was supposed to be 3.
Yeah, like I said, the first round can always, whoever looks best in the first round, it can mean nothing at the end of the day. It's what happens after that. But from that first round, I'd say Mason maybe looked a bit better. Like I say, Lewis can catch him with anything.
You're nodding your head in agreement, Lewis. Would you say that you was having trouble in that fight up until that point?
No, do you know what it is? If you watch any of my fights going back into the ultra white collar scene, or the 2 that I've had in SCB, I always start off slow. I got caught a few hooks off Mason in the first round, and then obviously Ray, I got dropped in the first few seconds, who just caught me cold. Whether that's just a case of something I've got to fix up on, it doesn't happen in sparring, but it just seems to happen like I almost need a round to work my opponent out sometimes, and then once I know where they're going and where to read them, I can go from there. Mason came out like a house on fire, like it was straight into the action, which was good. Like, don't get me wrong, normally the better fighters bring the better fighter out of me, kind of thing. So I'm not gonna slate him for it. He took it to me. I didn't expect it. I said it to everyone. I thought, looking into it, that Mason was more of like a boxer. He'd come in and try and like outscore me, kind of thing, and I'd be the brawler in it. But no, he brawled with me, and it was I guess that caught me off guard. But it's just something I've got to fix up, I guess.
Mason, does that rematch have to happen? That's got to burn. It's got to sting.
It doesn't sting much because I know where I was at the fight, and I know I didn't lose, as in like Lewis didn't beat me. I lost because of an injury, but so psychologically I'm not affected. But no, like in professional boxing, it would have been. I'm pretty sure it would have been seen as a DQ or. One of those terms in boxing, where in professional boxing, where it's a medical, because it's the first round. The judges score. You can't go back to the judges' scorecards or something like that. So in my head, I didn't lose it, but I didn't win it. If that makes sense. I do want to get.
I never talk about that win against Mason. I don't really count it myself, but I can do what I did against Ray. That's something to talk about. But it's like. We had maybe 30, 40 seconds of just brawling, and then obviously the injury happened. So it's just that's what it was.
How many times, Lewis Small, have you watched that knockout of Ray?
No, it was good, man. Do you know, I think what I've always said to people is a lot of people just say it's a lucky shot, but it was something that we'd worked on a lot in camp, which was that almost like Derek Chisora approach, jab into the chest, jab into the body, and then coming up top. Ray seemed to gas. He's even said it himself that he was tired in that second round. My coach has said it as well. Like, he's tired now. It's like, yeah, right, go for him. But I didn't want to come out just dead wild. We were boxing better. I was working his body more. And then obviously when he backed up into the corner, he was kind of just throwing like a standard 1-2 and then just keeping the same position. There wasn't much movement. Touched him to the body, threw the old round in the corner, and it caught him. I think it was just around the temple area, and then it was just lights out. But the minute it landed, we knew it was done. So even the coaches knew straight away.
Yeah, absolutely sensational knockout. One of the best on the scene, I must say, last year. Mason, do you have a final message for Anton Bell? To put him to sleep tonight before you try to put him to sleep on Friday night.
Let's have a great fight. The best man wins. Let's hope for a knockout.
Yeah. And same with you, Anton. What have you got a message for Mason Brown? Before you go to battle, this probably be one of the last times you'll see him.
Good luck. We've got respect for each other at the end of the day. Like you said, the best man wins, both brawlers. It's going to be a great fight, whether there's a knockout or not.
Yeah. Listen, we're looking forward to the fight. We really hope that...
Why does everyone think I'm related to Chris Eubank Jr.? I'm not related to Chris Eubank Jr. Okay? I know I fucking sound like Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm not Chris Eubank Jr., okay?
That is a compliment.
That's a compliment. Yeah, that's not bad, mate. That's not bad at all. You know what I mean? I would be claiming that one. I'll say, yeah. Listen, thank you very much for your time, everyone. Appreciate your time on the live. I look forward to driving up to Manchester for a great night of boxing.
I look forward to having you in my corner, gunman.
Absolutely, I'll come out and walk with you, and I'll do the corner. I'll be in the opposite corner, Mason, unfortunately, but this is my guy. But I'm unbiased in these lives. I do wish the best man wins as always. But hopefully, I hope Anton wins. But other than that, listen, as I said, may the best man win Friday night. I hope to see you both in the ring, and hopefully we have an absolute barnstormer. Thank you very much for everyone's time, Lewis.
Thank you for
jumping on and making the live exciting.
No, good luck, lads.
Top man. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.